Oh, here we go. All right.
Yeah, you got
Should
it.
be it right here. My
Ooh,
phone
your
is
phone
going
now.
crazy right now. Like I dropped it and it's like spazzing.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. But like I said, we about to make this work. Oh snap! Let's go. Let's go. We live and alive
Yeah, you
right
got
now.
it.
Be it right here. Yeah, let me just turn my
Ooh, I
phone
hear a
is
little playback.
crazy right now. Like I dropped it and it's like oh no spazzing. You see what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? Where it starts to yeah, buddy. But like I said, we about to make this work. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know why there's playback. Is that on yours by any chance?
No, I turned mine down.
All right, let me find out why it's doing this. I think I know why it's doing it. Oh no! You see what I'm talking about? Where it starts to yeah, buddy. But man, it did this to me before, and I'm just like, man, they love. Oh, here we go. Can you hear me? Yeah. It just opened up another video sometimes, and they like to hook me up like that and do me dirty.
Oh wait, let me go back to the YouTube and share it to my Twitter.
Yeah, please. So I'm gonna do a quick little introduction to let people know to share it out. Usually for like the first 2 minutes we like share it out. But hey, welcome everybody back to another great and amazing episode here on the Veteran Influencers Podcast. As always, I have a special guest. She is not a military veteran. However, she is a veteran in what she does, and I will introduce her here in a second. So as you guys know, for the first 2 minutes, please do me a favor. Share this out to all your social media, to all your friends, your family, your mom, your wife, your kids, all of them. Let them all know it's going down right now. So take the next 2 minutes out. Do me a favor and share it out.
Share it, share it.
Share that thing. Yo, did you see the thumbnail?
I did.
Oh my, look at this.
You know, colorful and pretty.
Shout out to my editor.
Battle.
I know. Hold on. I got some bars for you. Don't think I don't.
Let me hear something.
No, I'm just playing. Listen, I'm the last person you want to start spitting bars.
Really? How'd you start watching battle rap?
Honestly, we might have to say this for the live, but I would say the first person I started watching was Murder Mook.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a long time ago, like long time ago. I started watching. I mean, we're talking
still in
like
the streets, huh?
Yeah. Like that's when everybody had that Mook and Jones on repeat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That Mook and Lux. Just
the essence of it.
Yeah, it was crazy. And to be honest, like I went through so many phases of battle rap to where it was like for a while I was only watching T-Rex type battles, like outside. Mm-hmm. Like that feeling, because it reminds me of hooping, like that competitiveness, like you're up in people's face, that trash talking, and it's like
outside, the grittiness of it.
Yeah.
So did you ever go through the phase of falling out of love with it? Because that happens where you'd be like, I don't feel like watching nothing, and then you kind of come back and you're like, you know what? Let me watch everything. Does that happen?
If I'm being honest, kind of, but it's no shot at battle rap. It's just more so of a phase.
Yeah, it just happens, because it happens to me with like some of my favorite shows. Like I could watch it continuously, and then if I miss one episode, I'm like, I'll catch it later, and then
that's
I'll go like 3-4 weeks without watching it, and then I'll jump back into it. So I think it just happens. It's like a natural progression where you're just like, I'm over it for a minute.
Well, to me, I think it's more so of we could talk about the whole app era in a little bit, but I think it was more so of I wanted to hear something different, because, like, listen, we all like to hear the shoot 'em, smack people, you know what I'm saying? Your man's ain't gonna do nothing. But so I actually transitioned to, this is where I learned about the WRC. I don't know if you're familiar with the WRC, the World Rap Championships. It had like Thesaurus, Ilmac, when they're doing like the 2-on-2s.
Yeah. Yes.
And I started watching this dude named Thesaurus and the Ilmac. I was like, yo.
Both of them are legends. You know, people been talking about that whole legends conversation. Those are both legends right there.
You know what's funny, though? It's like, I don't think people fully understand what it takes for them to do what they did. I mean, really, all of them in that whole WRC, because these dudes, I found out, they were like filming that in 1 day, 2 days. All those battles were filmed. Yeah. And it was a freestyle type platform, you know, like,
and you had to go through everything just going through whatever you had was what you had, and you just had to go up against whoever was there, and what you could do was what you did. So that was dope.
Yeah, let me share this out real quick because this, oh man, this
That's
is
what I was
already
doing.
dope. What's that?
I said that's what I was doing. I shared it a bunch of times on different.
Man, I listen.
platforms.
Like I said, I truly appreciate you, man. Like
No
this
problem.
is so awesome.
No problem.
Oh man, I'm so excited. He is live.
Yes, we live. We live.
The W don't want to work. Oh, there we go. I shouldn't be saying that online. People think I got like some cheap like iPhone 1 or something.
You said you had a problem with it, right?
Yo, I don't even want to show you what it looks like because like I dropped it so many times. Like the case that is supposed to protect it, that's all cracked. Like
I don't even have a case on my damn phone, man. I'm living life dangerously right now. Just out here. Whatever
yo, that's how you know you don't care about life when you ain't got no when you got a naked phone. Oh man, well, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's go on and get into it. It's like I said, I truly do. Everybody's telling me right now, drop some bars on it. I'm getting all these messages right now. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, like I mean everybody's like sat there and tried to write some stuff, but like the more I do that, the more I have respect for people that battle rap, because even though you can after a while of watching it, you can kind of understand a certain type format. The da 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 da. She said, but then now it's time for you to do it, and it's like
it's totally different, right?
Trash.
Yeah. Well, he just doesn't make sense, doesn't feel right. Yeah, it happens.
At all.
And that's the first thing that people say when they find out you're a rapper. Like, oh, let me hear some. And I'm just like, no, I get paid for that. Like,
facts.
Let me hear some. Let me hear some.
Let me see it.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me see something.
Let me hear the points or something, because I am not rapping. You want to see it? Go on YouTube. Get my views up, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, welcome everybody back. Like I said, I appreciate you guys, those that shared it out, those that are in the live feed. Thank you guys so much for the support. It's been absolutely amazing over the last couple of years of doing this podcast, and to be at where we're at right now with our special guest, it is an absolute blessing. I appreciate her, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting. So like I said, we have a special guest next to us. To me, is definitely one of my favorite battle rappers because the grittiness, and we'll go over it specifically how I actually ran into her, how I found her on YouTube, and the reason why I continue to kind of resonate to her style of what she does and her actual personal brand. But her name is Shooney Da Rapper, and we're going to go into like the bio throughout the time that we're doing it. And like I said, I just want to say what an absolute blessing it is to have you here on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, Shooney Da Rapper.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. What's going on?
Hey, nothing much. I know we were talking about in the little pregame show, we were talking about how we actually got in contact.
Yeah.
And
tell everybody what a jerk you are now.
No, come on, don't do me like that.
I'm joking.
Now, so we were on IG, you know what I'm saying? And of course, I searched her, and I think I had already followed you at that point. And I saw some people, we were having a conversation in the chat, and, depending on how you text or put capitals and exclamation points, it may sound a little different. And I asked somebody a question, and there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. And because of that, we actually had our first interaction. So, we wouldn't even be here if I didn't pull up like that.
It could have went totally left, because normally I curse people out and block them immediately. But like we were talking beforehand, like certain things can get lost in translation, and I don't think you were intending to be disrespectful to me, and I wasn't intending to be disrespectful to you. And once we realized that, it was kind of like we both were like, all right, this person's cool, he can stay, and then you probably were like, you know what, she's not so bad. And then from there, it just became, a mutual thing. He'd comment, I'll comment back, because it's somebody that I would often see showing love and stuff like that. So, the moment you asked me to come on, I was like, absolutely, whatever you need.
That's so crazy because, whenever you message somebody, like I said, that's popular, big following, or however you want to put it, or that's doing something that's well known to other people, you don't even get left on scene. You know what I'm saying? You get left on. Yeah, they turned the status off so you can't see that they read it. But I know some
Yeah,
of them be reading
they
it.
leave you in the further in the other side of the inbox, right? They never even bring you to the primary side.
Ah, man,
Yeah, no, see, I try, like I said, I try not to do that because you just never know who you're speaking to, and you never know, what opportunities where they may lead, and you know what I'm saying? Because I know you're in the military, and I know that I have fans there. I just didn't have a way to reach them besides YouTube. You know what I mean? So I wanted to have that avenue, and then having someone like you come to me with the opportunity, I thought it was really dope to get on a platform like yours to have a voice with them, and have you be the liaison with me through them. So I thought we both could benefit from it. So I was very excited for this.
No,
We were supposed to be here last week, but our times got crossed and everything.
hey, listen, and just so you guys know, we're on complete opposite time zones. Well, I'm not gonna say complete opposite, but we're we got a 3 hour difference. She's on the east, I'm on the west, and the fact that we can make this work to me is already great. And that's one of the reasons why I like to get guests on a little bit early because just like how we were talking about earlier, when I told you everything was set up, and then it was like they want to go live, I'm like,
wow.
you know.
Yeah, but we got it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. This is so crazy. Like, the whole time I was like saying that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be chilling. Whenever I see her on the screen, it's just no, I'm cheesing right now. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
This is so dope. Like literally to go from watching somebody on YouTube to see them in an interview to where they pull up to your platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Here I am.
Absolutely amazing. So, hey, let's start a little bit from the beginning because obviously I want to go over the whole battle rap as well. But I want to do a little bit more to show you as who you are as a person, not just as a battle rapper. Because I think that's important. You kind of bring out that person as opposed to just what they do. Like me, when I do interviews, I don't like to just talk about the military. I like to talk about who I am, the hobbies I like to do, things I like to do outside of what people know me from. Because to me, that's a whole nother brand as well. But, I think other people can resonate to that as well, even if they can't resonate to battle rapping.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. So you said you was born in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you pun. You know what I'm saying? Who we got? KRS?
Yeah, it's a lot of people from the Bronx. Who we got? Remy, Fat Joe. You said pun. You got KRS One.
People sleep on Fat Joe.
There's mad people from the Bronx, man. I know.
Sleep on Fat Joe.
I was born in the Bronx, and then my family, we moved to Mount Vernon, and then when I was five, we ended up moving back to the Bronx, and then I went back to Mount Vernon when I was 10. So I kind of rep both, but my favorite saying in the battle rap is Murderville, which is Mount Vernon, because most of my good years and all of my, when you're learning and you're becoming your own, were spent in Mount Vernon, but I definitely rep the Bronx sometimes too.
So you got to explain to somebody that's kind of ignorant when it comes to New York. Listen, I find out about New York through rappers that talk about it and some YouTube videos here and there, when I get curious. So where exactly is Mount Vernon?
So Mount Vernon is literally right across the street from the Bronx. And when I say right across the street, there is a street, Murdoch, and then there's a street Monticello in the Bronx, and then part of it runs into Mount Vernon and just changes the name. So if you're on the left side, you live in the Bronx. If you're on the right side, you live in Mount Vernon. And that's what I mean, like literally across the street. But so it's a part of Westchester County, and it's toward the end of North Bronx. So you would have to take the 5 train to the end of the line to get to Mount Vernon and take a bus, or take the 2 train to the end of the line and then take a bus into Mount Vernon, or walk. And then it was like such a bad place that Westchester County was trying to push us off onto the Bronx, and the Bronx was like, nope, this is your problem, child. You stay in Westchester County. So it's very small. It's 4 square miles. Meaning everybody knows everybody, and you're pretty much almost related to someone by like a third cousin of some sort or whatever. So, but the crime rate is super high, and it's weird because damn near everybody's related, and it's like y'all are killing people that's damn near your cousin. Like, what's going on out here? But
looking just like you.
It's a tough, yeah, it's a tough neighborhood. Tough. It has nice parts, but for the most part, Mount Vernon is pretty hood. But that's my hometown, so shout out to them.
Shout out. And listen, I'm not here to promote any type of negativity. So if there's certain questions that come out, it's more so of me just inquiring and trying to
Oh
understand.
no, do your thing. Do your thing.
Listen, because I watch like podcasters and YouTubers all the time. It's like you get somebody on your platform and you have those three questions that's gonna like spike the SEO. So if you ask them that, they make little clips about it and it just goes by. I'm not here to do that.
Gotcha.
I'm here because I actually care about you as the person, you as the brand, your success. So I'm not here to try to make fame off you. I think that's kind of corny, anyways, when people do that.
Right.
Catch people by surprise. You're gonna ask them about something you know you shouldn't be asking them about.
Right, and then they're stuck.
So you hear about a few battle rappers. I think Chess is from the Bronx too, right?
Yes.
And the way that a lot of people speak about where they're from, whether it's the East Coast, West Coast, sometimes it gets kind of a negative stigma on it. But for people like me and you, I think we kind of understand like a little bit further down the layers of what they're trying to say. Instead of just some people you hear brag about the killing rate or something like that, but like nobody. I don't think most people really
happy
want
about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it's you're saying it for bars purposes and to like kind of scare your opponent, but on a regular basis, I wouldn't be walking around like, "Hey, Mount Vernon has the highest murder rate in the world." Like,
What?
you know what I mean? Like, like I'm not running with that. You know what I mean? Nobody's happy about how rough their upbringing really was or whatever the case may be. But when it comes to battle rap, of course, that's something that gives you stripes, so to speak. You know
Right.
what I mean? So that's why you kind of glorify it, if that's the right word, even. You know what I mean? So that's why we kind of talk about it and stuff like that. But other than that, ain't nobody really hyped about the situation that they came up in, especially Chess. You know what I mean? Him talking about making
I love Chess and his
you know what I
brand.
mean? To cups and shit like that. Like, yeah.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody happy about that. It's just, it's the situation you're from, so you rap about it.
No, much love to Chess because when he said I cut the 2 liter bottle to make a bowl, boy, I was in tears. But
I
I
understand
felt
that.
it though.
Word, times get hard, like you never know. Times get hard. And I've often said it because I'm not ashamed to say it. Thank God my dad is home, but my dad did 35 years in prison. He just came home February 5th. Yeah. And so when I was young, I keep saying when I was young, my family and everything, the feds took our home. And so after that, we were homeless for a good 2-3 years, going through the system and trying to get placed and stuff like that. So when Chess was speaking, I definitely understood exactly what he meant. You know what I mean? Like, times definitely get hard and people go through shit. So I felt that. I felt that for sure. I don't know if I would rap about it like that. Like, yeah, I use newspaper to wipe my ass. No, I'm not. I don't know if I'm doing that. But I understand having less than and making it work.
I think with the we talked about a little bit earlier about the bragging and whatnot. Yeah, it makes for like good songs and stuff, but I think it's also I think a lot of people walk around with like a certain type bravado, and it actually serves as a kind of a type of defense as well. Like, leave me alone because I'm from here.
Yeah.
And when you hear certain places, when someone says I'm raised in Compton or whatever, you have this certain type perspective. Like, okay, I can kind of understand what he went through in life, and the fact that they survived or made it on top. I can kind of understand the type of person that I'm dealing with. I think that's what people are saying, and that's what I want to leave it at because I know nobody's like, especially if you've ever had to deal with someone that lost their life, you know what I'm saying, or that has been seriously injured in some type of violence. Nobody's like, yeah, I love this,
Absolutely.
No, that's amazing too. And first of all, I appreciate that, you talk about, where you came from and the struggles that you had to deal with and the fact that you're here right now and you're successful. I am so appreciative of people that fought through it because I'm sure at some point with anybody you could have given up or not pursued your dreams or something like that, but you took adversity and said, nah, fam, I'm about to do something.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely been moments where you kind of feel like you want to give up, but you got to look at the brighter side. And I always stress this when I talk on, my show that I have on Caffeine or speak on any of my social media platforms. If you're going through something, get some help. And, people kind of look at it as like, oh, we shouldn't be going to therapy. And a lot of times in African American homes and stuff like that, people feel like you shouldn't get help. Like, no, if you went through a struggle in life, speak to somebody. There are avenues, there are services, and I'm very big on that. You know what I mean? Like, I always talk about that because a lot of people come from backgrounds that can change the trajectory of how their life goes, and they feel like they have to deal with that in darkness and really kind of hide all of that within, and then they end up not being the best version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always speak about where I've come from and know where I'm going and stuff like that, and try to keep my mental sharp, because I could have let anything stop me along the way, and I didn't. So I always share that story just to give other people hope, because I never know who's listening.
You know what? I forgot who was saying it. But most people don't like to divulge a lot of information about themselves because they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard you was on the Veteran Influencer podcast and you said this." Now, like, come on, man.
Listen,
Don't be like that.
what it is, because if it's not one thing that they're gonna rap about, they're gonna rap about the next thing. You understand what I'm saying? So if it wasn't something that I said on here, they may get on there and be like, "Look at her hair," but this is my natural curl. What can
Nah, your hair is fly. I don't know what nobody's saying.
So right, but what I'm saying is, like, if it's not one thing, it's the next. So I'm not gonna let somebody pigeonhole me into what I can speak about. You know what I mean? If it's my story, it's my life, I'm gonna speak about it when I feel like it. If you decide to make a bar about it, God bless you. I hope it hits. But you know what I mean? What can I do? So I'm not gonna like limit what I speak about just for the sake of somebody having it as a bar. I really don't care.
And
they
that's
probably
the
don't
whole
do it anyway.
right. And the whole thing is like promoting being real. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I have a certain way about myself sometimes, especially on social media. Like, I don't portray a message exactly, as we all know, as I should. But I never say anything that's not real. Like, you never have to worry about what I'm thinking about. You never have to worry about, is he just saying that because X, Y, Z? Because I always say the truth, and that gets used against you a lot. A lot of people feel a certain way when you speak the truth, and it's like it makes them feel a certain way about, like, I don't want to give any examples. I know I'm going to say
I get what
crazy.
you're saying. I get what you're saying, but your truth is your truth, and no one could damage you with it. They're gonna try to make you feel away and try to pull you down, but you can't allow somebody to do that with your truth, because people try to make you feel like you shouldn't speak it, or you're wrong for saying something, or even opening up and being real. But if you're always real and you don't lie, you don't have to hide. Like, it's just you. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm clipping that
24/7. You know what I mean?
I'm definitely clipping that, because that is absolutely true. If it's real, like, what do you say? If it's real, I can tell. I can see it in your eyes.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Shout out to Calico.
Yo, man, that's so awesome, man. And I love to put people in a different type of environment, and I think that's what makes this interview so special. Is because everybody's like, "Oh, is she a veteran? Oh, is she a veteran?" I was like, "Well, she's not a military veteran, but she's a veteran in what she does." And the fact that you reached back to me when I reached out to you, it shows that you have some type of love for what we do as well. Because
Absolutely.
I've got nothing but respect for what you do.
Thank you. Same here. Like I told you, this was a great opportunity for the both of us. I was like, absolutely, So thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you say you have 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I couldn't imagine having that, because I had a few my dad been married a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a few, I had a first set of stepbrothers. I had 2 stepbrothers, and the next marriage I had, a stepbrother and, a stepsister, or excuse me, 3 stepbrothers and a stepsister. So, but I had a couple sisters of my own and a half brother that passed away a while ago. But to have it all at once, what was that like?
Well, so the spectrum is wide, because my parents are in their 70s. But so my 2 older brothers, they're in their 50s. So growing up, they were there. One of them is always in and out of jail, so he was never in the house much. because he was always in jail. So shout out to him. He's in jail now.
Hey, we still love you.
You know what I mean? Hopefully you get out soon. But then the other brother, I remember him being in the house a little bit as I was like a younger child, like 2, 3, and then he got married and he moved. So then my younger memories are of I have 2 sisters that are in their 40s, and then one brother that's 40, and then my other sister that is 37. Yeah, she's 37. She's about to be 38. So all of us, the 5 of us, were in the house together majority of the time. So the 2 oldest weren't there, but it was a lot. It was a lot. They say I'm spoiled, but I don't really feel like I am. I just feel like, I always had somebody I could ask. If I asked my mother and she said no, my siblings are, considerable amount older than me, like a good 13 years, 11 years, 8 years. So they have it because they were adults before I was. So then I could just ask them. So I don't think it's spoiled. I just had, plenty of avenues to ask people for stuff.
I love the way you switch that around.
I had to a little razzle dazzle. No, but it was cool. I'm still really close with my sisters and brothers, at the moment and stuff. And one of my sisters owns a restaurant out here in Connecticut. And so we all run it together. I do bartends and manage the bar and stuff. So it's fun, trying at times because it's family, but it's very fun. And we all, take our turn running the business and helping and stuff like that. And so we're really close-knit family. And then now that my dad's home, it's really amazing because my mom and my dad are still together. So
wait, they stayed together the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yep. The whole time, yeah. The whole time. And so
shout out. I know your mom's a strong woman. That is amazing.
The strongest that I've ever seen. And they're still together, madly in love. It's a little disgusting and disturbing at times, but it's so cute how much they love each other.
Get a room.
So now it's even better because I never got to say, oh, I'm going to my parents' house and stuff like that. So now that he's in the home and then we all go for Sunday dinner and stuff like that. So it's really dope to see everybody as adults and still being so close and all of our kids around and stuff. So it's pretty nice.
That is so good to hear. I love hearing stories like that because we all go through adversity in life. Mm-hmm. And like we said a little bit earlier, it's like some people choose to use that adversity as motivation. Some people, they just can't make it out of their minds. Their mind holds them back and to think that they can't do it.
And that's exactly what it is. It's all a mind trick. You know what I mean? You just got to be a little stronger than that and, use the resources you have around you. Like I said, so, a lot of people have jobs and your workplace has those resources and they may not tell you, but if you go on anybody's, human resources page, I guarantee you there's a link to talk to somebody if you're going through something to try to help you clear that mind space. There's, stuff online that you could use that's, free trials and stuff like that. We all have 10 emails, I'm pretty sure. Be a different person every time. If you don't have any money to pay for the free trials, you know what I mean? You use your email for 2 weeks and when the trial's up, get another email.
And they don't know about that.
They don't know about, what I'm saying? I got about 10 emails that I can use when my free trial is up. I'm doing that on the Peloton app right now.
Yeah.
But, no, seriously. But it's dope though. It's really dope to have such a big family and to, finally have my dream come true to have my dad back home because we really didn't, we prayed and we were trying to get this to come true, but after so many years, we didn't think it was going to happen. So finally, after the full 35 years, he's home. So, and that's my age. If anybody's wondering, how's he her dad? And yeah, I know I look young, but I am 35.
Yeah, hey, let him know.
I am 35, even though.
That's because your hair is shining. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That natural.
I used to not tell my age. I wasn't afraid of it. Let me put it that way. But if people asked, I would be like, why? Why are you in my business? And then when I was turning 35 in 2020, I was like, 2020 has been a rough year. And I am like blessed to be 35. And I was like, no, you know what? Not hiding my age. Sorry. This is it. This is me. Here I am. So.
Well, you know what? It's also how people think, how people view age and how people think other people view certain ages.
Mhm.
Like, you know, before when you said 40, people were like, "Oh my God, that's like 80." But you know,
Right.
but
Right.
nowadays 40 is like,
I used to feel like that too. Like, oh, that's so old. You know what I mean? And now my kids tease me when they ask, well, Mom, how old are you? And then when I say 35, they're like, 35? I'm just like, that is not old. What is wrong with y'all?
yeah, get in your room.
Yeah,
You don't
go
need
clean up
TV
your
anyway.
stuff. Right.
Oh, because I remember, well, I actually remember when I asked my dad, I think I was like probably 3 or something like that. I asked him like how old he was, and I remember he was 35, and I would always see 35 on the cable box, and for some reason that number always resonated to me when I would think it reminds me of where I was at when my dad was 35, and oh man, yeah, you know my dad's not doing the greatest right now, but that's what I'm saying. It's like people
Yeah.
got to take whatever blessing you can get, you know, whatever
Mhm.
second. You know, I know I need to call my dad a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And for you to be able to have your dad there, and
Mhm.
you know, no matter how much time it is, you know,
Yeah,
it's
you should
always a
do that.
blessing.
If you know you got to call them, you should give them a call.
Yeah,
When you get over here, give them a call.
bet. And then I'm gonna message you when I do too.
You
Say
should.
I won't.
You should.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you actually got started on yourself. So you grew up with 3 and 3, but you got 5 kids of your own.
Yes. So
How is that? That's a lot of kids.
it is. It is. It is a lot. I have three biological, and then my husband has two. So total, we have five. Um, and we have four girls, one boy, and the ages are all over the place. So our son is 15. Then we have a 13-year-old daughter, 11-year-old daughter, a 6-year-old daughter, and then the baby is about to be 2 months on the 6th. So we kind of got like, yeah, we got them all over. So when everyone is all in the house, it's madness. We kind of like we kind of just go in the room. Like my husband and I, who's also a battle rapper, Fettuccine 20, we'll go
Shout
in the
out the
room.
20. That dude is
Yep.
so
Isn't
nasty.
he?
Listen, I'm not even saying that because you're on here.
Nah, he's amazing. I know. He's dope. Very underrated, but
I was just about to say that.
yeah, he's amazing. So when everyone's here, we kind of go in the room, and then you'll just until you hear some banging or really loud noises, then you come out like, "What are y'all doing?" But other than that, it's a free ball. Everybody do what you want to do, real quick. I
Now get
kid
off
you.
the bed.
Um, it was crazy though when the pandemic first hit, when everybody had to go into remote learning. That was crazy because I didn't know what was going on. The kids didn't know what was going on, and then somehow or another, my son figured out a way to submit his lessons without really submitting a lesson. So he was like submitting blank papers. So when I went back to look, his queue was cleared. Like, oh, I did all my work, and then the end of the semester comes and they're like, yeah, he submitted everything, but it was blank. So yeah, he's actually failing. I'm like, what the hell? And he had like 3 days to make up everything. So that was like super trying to try to get through with the kids. And then, the 13-year-old did her work, straight A's. 11-year-old, she's like, oh yeah, I did everything. I go in there and it's missing assignment, missing assignment. I'm like, oh my gosh. They like kind of just threw us into teaching. So that was
Right.
kind of crazy with everyone. But it's fun because everyone has like a different personality, and just seeing the kids coming into their own and thinking and talking and just conversing and just watching how they're growing. It's dope to see right before your eyes that you notice something new every time you look at one of your children. So it's really a blessing. And me coming from a big family, I love that the kids are able to grow together, and it's fun. I love being a mom.
You know, I can tell by just the way you speak about your kids that you're very in tune with, and granted, every parent should be, and I'm not. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, but I can tell that you're very in tune with the success of your kid, from like
Mhm.
the little things, and I
Yeah.
absolutely love it because I think that this whole COVID time has actually forced some parents to
To
be
pay a
more
lot of
parents.
attention. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if you weren't parenting before, you sure the hell have to parent now. You know what I mean? Because before, you're going to work, the kids are going to school. So, you know what I mean? 8 o'clock, maybe you'll make breakfast and the kids are off, or maybe they'll eat breakfast at school. And then
Right.
by the time they come home, you're maybe still at work and they'll, have a little snack, and then you maybe have 2 hours before they go to bed. So it's not much time. And then all of a sudden everything stopped and everyone was forced to now see each other. You know what I mean? You're forced to talk. You're forced to realize, hey, what is my kid like? Do they not like this channel? Do they not eat this? Do they not, who are they speaking to? What are they doing? Like, it kind of, forced people into things. Not that this was a great thing that we're going through the pandemic, but there were some things that came from it that people can put into their everyday routine when the world does open back up, and I would hope people are still paying attention to their kids and their kids' lives, because at the end of the day, you realize all you have is family. When everything shut down, you were quarantined with who you were quarantined with,
Right.
So that became a big thing. But it's dope. It's dope. I'm definitely in tune with my kids, and hopefully they're able to, become a success on their own or whatever they want to do. Like my son is into gaming, and
What game?
he's always playing
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, and
Okay.
what's the other one?
Hey, let him know he can get clapped whenever. You know what I'm saying? We don't play no games over here.
Like that. And what's the other one that the kids be playing with it? Fortnite.
Oh yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, they love that. And then the girls, of course, fashion, hair. And then the 6-year-old Tony, I think she's gonna be a comedian, because she's like just funny without people even realizing, and she's just adorable. And then, the little baby, I don't know what she's gonna do yet, but she's gonna do something.
Keep you up all night.
That is one thing she is doing. She is a night owl. At night, she's just up, just looking around. Yeah.
Man, you guys are truly blessed too. And, I want to hit on one more part about like you specifically, but to have sometimes having relationships in areas like battle rap where you leave it open, and we'll talk about a particular battle in a little bit, but it gives a lot of ammunition for other people. And I think if you're not as strong as the way I view you guys as a strong type relationship, I think it can possibly affect it to some people that aren't really binded as hard.
But you have to know your partner, and you have to be best friends beforehand. You know what I mean? And that's the best part about it, that Fetty and I were best friends before we decided to, take it to the next level. And so there's a deep understanding of each other, knowing each other, besides being lovers, just knowing the character of the person that you're with really makes a difference, And it sounds cliche when people are like, yeah, you got to be friends before you're lovers. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
No, that's absolutely amazing. I love to see stuff like that. And honestly, it kind of caught me by surprise. Like, either I wasn't as in tune at that point with it, but when I discovered, and I'll talk about this battle in a second, but when I discovered who Fetty was, I didn't even know that you guys were like together.
Oh yeah.
So I'm trying to think of exactly when I realized that you guys were married. I think somebody mentioned it in a battle. I was just like
always, yeah. Yeah, this July makes 2 years that we've been married, and so we've been together just about 4 years total, and then married too. So
okay, hey, that's oh, wrong button. I apologize. That's definitely a beautiful thing. That's awesome. Yeah. And you guys are dope together too, man. You guys support each other at the battles and everything. It's like, you don't really see any like
the kids do battles in the house and stuff. It's fun.
They be battling like who's gonna sweep the fastest out. Like I said, yo,
it's fun. They go at each other with the little disses and stuff, and we play around. It's a good time.
That's crazy. Until they start talking about their parents, I was like, yo, I heard your mom is dead. Like, well, that's me, baby.
Yeah, I actually on my it's in one of my you know how you put the lives and stuff. It's on my IGTV where Fetty and Tony, the 6-year-old, they were kind of battling, and she was going in on him and he was going in on her. It's hilarious. You got to check it out.
I'm a hey, who won? Was it 2-1 or 3? Was it no body bag? Or?
Toward the end, she got real crazy at the end. She even swung on him at the end. She got very upset and was like, ah!
A ladies 3-0, you know what I'm saying?
It was close. It was a 2-1. It was a 2-1.
No debatable, you know what I'm saying?
Nah.
So you mentioned that you went to college for a year. So were you doing that while you were battle rapping, or did you have like
No,
another?
that's actually how I got into rap. I wasn't a rapper when I was in college.
Okay.
I always was interested in hip hop. Like, you know, me having my brother that's 5 years older than me, his room would be close enough for me to hear him playing music and stuff like that. And then like the first time that I heard um Keith Murray, Most Beautiful Thing in the World, I fell in love with hip hop. So I would
Keith
sit next to
Murray
his
is so
door,
underrated
isn't
too.
he? So I would sit next to his door and try to hear stuff. And I love the beats and stuff like that. And I just became really, really big on hip hop. But I never felt like I knew how to rap. So I just never did anything with it. And then when I went to college, I had a radio show called I Dream of Shooney, and it was really popular on the campus. And then I started to like host this thing called they had like Common Hour on Wednesdays, which meant that people didn't have classes after 12 o'clock. There were no more classes, so
Okay.
people would like hang out in the cafeteria and stuff. So I would host like the poetry slam, or if they were doing like pie contests or whatever. So I was doing all of that. And then so it just so happened that they had the on-air studio, and then next door they had the recording studio. So while I'm doing my shows, one of the guys comes in and he's like, "Hey, can you do this hook for me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." So, you know, they wrote it, and all I had to say was, "You on your grind, nigga, stack." And then they like kind of looped it. And so then we did that on a Friday. I didn't go back to school on Monday. I ended up cutting school for whatever reason. And then when I went back on Tuesday, everybody's like, "Yo, your voice sounds crazy on the track." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even hear it yet." So when I heard it, I was like, I do sound kind of nice on this track. So I start gassing myself up, you know, and
Yeah.
they're like, they're doing like this little track, and everybody that was in the studio was like, "Oh yeah, I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it." So then I was like, "You know what? Me too." And it was like, "You rap?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
yeah.
wrote, yeah, so I wrote a little rap. It wasn't all that, but they liked it, you know what I mean? And
You
it
still
was
got
just
it?
I don't still have it, but I know just a part of it was kind of like, "Yo, it's Shooney." I said, "Yo, it's Shooney, something, could your man want to do me?" Probably because I got more class than CUNY. And something
Oh.
to the glass on my booty. Just, and I had never smiled back,
Oh.
like my butt was so big. But but you know, it was fly because of the metaphor, the more class than CUNY, because that's the community universities of New York. So everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that was so fire, da, da, da," whatever. So then when I got home, I was on the way home with my sister and my manager at the time, Jay Loyal, and we were in the car. And I'm like, "Hey," well, he wasn't my manager at the time, but we were in the car, and I'm like, "Hey, I want to rap." And he's like, "Huh?" And then my sister looks back like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to rap." And they're like, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I did a little song at the school or whatever. And then so Jay goes, "All right, if you serious, if you freestyle from here," and we was in Manhattan, we were going back to Mount Vernon, which is like a 35-minute ride if you drive in at the speed that he drives, 80 miles an
Right.
hour.
Don't be
So
snitching.
he's like, "If you freestyle from here home, I'll pay for the whole project." So I did just that, you know, and it
Wait,
wasn't
like off the top?
off the top, and they weren't the greatest, you know what I mean? But I was doing it, you know. So he would point to a car, point to the person walking with a dog and stuff like that. So I just, you know, I did the whole thing. And then when we pulled up, he was like, "All right, whatever you need." And he paid for the studio time, he paid for the CDs, because this was at the time where, you know, people had to get the CDs in that big little tray that you had to burn them, and you needed a burner, and you
They
needed,
don't know about that.
yeah, you needed the thing to put the picture on it. You had to buy the CD cases and put your pictures in the sleeve and all. So it was quite a few things that went into that. You know what I mean? And then the studio time was like, at that point, I think it was like $30 an hour. So, you know, he was paying for that. He paid for the beats, everything when it came to filming the video. So then all of that happened. And that's how I became Shooney Da Rapper. And it was really supposed to just be Shooney, but at that time, that's when MySpace was popping. And I made 2 pages because I wanted one to be my music page and I wanted one to be my
Right.
regular page. So everybody kept saying, "Well, why do you have 2 pages?" So then I was like, "Oh God." So I changed the heading URL to Shooney Da Rapper page. But of course you couldn't see the word page. So everybody thought my name was Shooney Da Rapper. And I was like, "Okay, my name is Shooney Da Rapper." So I kept that. And then I went with that, right? So then I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter in 2015. So at that time that I started doing the regular rapping, and I was, doing shows down in the city, in New York City, because it's really big underground scene. So I was like, pretty big there doing a
Right.
whole stuff. And paying for a lot of stuff, with my team and stuff. And then got pregnant 2014-ish, and then had my daughter in 2015. So at that time I was on Twitter. Twitter, was getting popular and stuff. And I ran into DNA on Twitter. I don't remember how exactly,
Shout
but
out to
he
D.
sent me, yeah, so he sent me his battle, him versus Rome. That was one of the first battles that I had ever seen. That was crazy. Remember, he had the
Was that
bomb.
the first one?
Yeah, that was the first thing I've ever seen. Yep. And so from there, it gives you the suggestions. So then it suggested another battle, and then another battle, and another battle. So I became hooked, and that became my favorite pastime while I was pregnant. I couldn't go outside, I couldn't really do anything. And then at the same time, simultaneously as me getting acclimated with battle rap, I keep getting these messages in my inbox on Twitter like, hey, you should battle rap. There's a thing called Queen of the Ring. You should try out. You should do it. But I didn't know what Queen of the Ring was at that time. So I just kept ignoring what he was, asking me and saying. Then finally, DNA invited me to one of the URL battles, the one where Arsenal and Hitman battled. And the energy was crazy.
That battle was so nasty. That is one of my favorite.
Yo, the energy in there was crazy. Like it was to the point where you don't know everybody that's in the crowd, but
Right.
because we're all here for the likeness of battle rap, you start talking to people, you high five and like, yo, you heard that boy, this, that, and that. You know what I mean? I felt home. Like it felt like hip hop to me. And so that right there made me feel like, yo, this is really kind of something dope. And then the next day, that same person hits me again on Twitter, like, hey, you should come to Queen of the Ring. And finally I responded, like, what is Queen of the Ring? Oh, it's a battle rap for females. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I should do this. So I was like, okay, I need $200. I'm gonna do it. He was like, all right, we normally don't pay people, but I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna give you $200, whatever. So he gave it to me. I got my hair, my nails done, all of that stuff. And then that's when I had my first battle versus Norma Bates. And that's how I got into battle rap. And from that battle, when it dropped on YouTube, people were coming up to me, can I have your autograph? Oh my God, just Shooney Da Rapper, crying, going crazy. And it was like nothing I have ever seen before. And like I said, I was already in love with it from when I went to the URL battle and seen it myself and felt the, everything, and it just felt right. And and they were paying me for my, my property as opposed to me paying for shows like I used to do when I was trying to get on and everything. So
Right.
from there, it became history, and it was like battle rap is like the best thing that ever happened. You go all of these different places, you get to see different people, and and when I see how many people's lives it changed and how many people really rock with what I do, it's amazing, So that's how I got into battle rap. Long story, but
No, listen, these are things I did not know that DNA's kind of introduced you to
yeah,
battle rap.
he sure did. He sure did.
God, that is so dope. And everybody that you mentioned, like from Arsenal, like as soon as you said that, so do you remember on the Arsenal and Hitman, they kind of showed like a little bit like a behind the scenes footage. Like sometimes they would show like the camera behind. As soon as you said that, that kind of reminded me.
That's exactly
of
where
that.
I was. Yep, that's exactly, and it's crazy because I'll be laughing because I know Hitman probably doesn't remember it, but I was in a crowd with one of my friends that didn't know much about battle rap shit. I didn't really know much about battle rap. And we went to the event together, whatever. And I talked to Angela like, yeah, it's gonna be a whole bunch of guys there because she ain't really want to go to that. But she went because I said guys. So we in the crowd, and she's like, well, who's this person and who's that person? So I only really knew a few of the big ones. At that point, I didn't know who Hitman was. So I'm like, oh yeah, Arsenal going to battle this boy named Hitman. Arsenal going to smoke him. I'm like, I don't even know where this boy is from. I don't know why he thinks he's going to beat Arsenal. Hitman turns right around because he's standing right in front of me, like, watch what I do to him. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh.
I was so embarrassed, like the egg on my face. Like,
I was just kidding, Hitman.
like, and, he's kind of tall. And I'm looking like, oh man, I messed up. But at that point, I was just a spectator. I wasn't a battle rapper yet, so he probably doesn't remember that I was talking so much shit right in front of him, well, right behind him. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the funny stories that happened. But from then, I just really loved it, and no one could tell me anything different. I know, I still speak with my old manager often. Obviously, you don't really need a manager when you're doing battle rap, and I kind of got away from the industry rap.
Right.
But I still speak to him all the time. Like that's like my big brother. I know he probably is jaded from battle rap. Like he likes battle rap, but he's probably like, y'all stole my artist. Cause once I started doing battle rap, it was it. Like I didn't want to do nothing else. You know what I mean?
You didn't really focus on music after that?
Yeah, I didn't want to be honest. Like because of certain things that go on behind the scenes in the industry. And trying to get signed and almost getting signed and going through everything that I went through up until that point.
Right.
I felt like I didn't want to do that anymore. And that was kind of like running me raggedy. And then I finally found something, that was refreshing and new that I always have to write new material for, push my pen, them paying me for the travel, the hotel and everything, because when you're an underground rapper, you don't make a lot of money. A lot of that's coming from your pocket. And so
a lot of people don't know that. They see these rappers that are on that, everybody's flossing. They don't realize that. It's not even half the time. It's not even their chain, or it's not their car. They rent it or
it's
borrow
not
it.
real. You know what I'm saying? It's not all that. And that's what I say in fake it till you make it really comes in, because you really gotta fake it till you make it, because a lot of times you eating oodles and noodles, but you standing in front of a Bentley to make a video that's not your, that's not yours, or you didn't eat in 2 days because you had to pay for studio time. You know what I'm saying? So on the reverse side, to be paid and my hotel's getting booked and people are treating us and me like I'm royalty, it was a no-brainer. I wasn't going back to that other side. You know what I mean? Even though he's proud of me, he probably does feel like, y'all took it. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't imagine that. And I shout out to all the people that, because I watch battle rap over the years, and I watch the stigma put on battle rappers by people saying, I think DNA talked about it he said, I always owned the fact that that I never denied being a battle rapper, where it wasn't cool doing it. The Murder Mooks, people could say whatever they want about him, but he always owned being a battle rapper, and to watch it kind of, expand over time. And now it's cool to say that, you know what I'm saying? And
but see, it's a part of hip hop. And to me, it's one of the last true forms of hip hop that's left. It's an honor to be a battle rapper. I don't know how or why it got that stigma, because a lot of people had to go through battle raps, whether it was like ours
in the street,
had to battle certain people to show your worthiness. That was where it was at. You know what I'm saying? You remember when DMX and Jay-Z battles and stuff like that, and Diddy would put his artists out there to battle people you had
Jay Mills.
You had to go through that. You had to go through wanting to be the best person, in your camp. So of course y'all are gonna battle and duke it out and stuff like that. So I don't know how it got such a negative stigma, but it's not a negative thing. To me, we do more work than the industry rappers, because I can't go to a battle and rap what I rapped to Farrah in 2011. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I can't go and say I'm ready to battle you and I come there with my verses for O-Red. I can't do that, So, but they can go to every state that they want to go to and sing the same song from 1989. You know what I'm saying? So we have more work cut out for us. We have to remember it. We have to perform it, and we have to make y'all like it in a split second. You know what I mean? We don't have time for it to grow on you on the radio. No, you have to like it right then and there in the moment, or that's it. You understand?
Crowd control.
It's more, to me, it's more at stake every time that we perform than it is for an industry rapper, Not to downplay what they do, but it's more at stake. So I really don't know where the negative stigma came from. And I would like for it to, be done. But
I think honestly, after a while, because you've seen a lot of people come back from the industry to battle rap. So I think people are starting to realize how special battle rap is.
Yeah. End up like cannabis, right?
Oh, you know what though? I don't know what happened. Listen, I've heard all type of, this is why. It don't matter. At the end of the day, there's no denying that cannabis is one of the nastiest to ever do it.
But this ain't for everybody.
Facts.
This ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not.
Well, when you were talking about the whole the attention, the fame and whatnot, I always thought battle rap. I look at you guys on YouTube, I always man, I ran into Thesaurus in Vegas one time at a basketball tournament. I was playing for my base, and I walked up and I kind of like did like a double take. I was like, nah, because I was heavy in the WRC at that time. I was like, no, that's not him. I kept going, but I remembered how he talked about he goes to Vegas and he like he does the whole poker and everything. And I look back and he just like at the same time he just looks at me. I was like, there's no way, you know what I'm saying? I was like, it's this is Thesaurus. And like he's like turns to somebody. He's like, "See, I told you, I am who I am." I was losing my mind. That's crazy.
A lot of the times, I forget I am who I am, and I'm Vernon in the Bronx raised, so you stare at me 30 seconds too long. I'm like, "What's that?" You know what I'm saying? And then they be like, "Oh no, you look like," and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah."
Sorry.
Like, my bad. And then you got those moments where you're not looking so cute. You just ran out the house looking crazy. That recently happened to me back in January. I had just had the baby. I was going to get my daughter because all of my kids are born in January, ironically.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the 1st, the 6th, and the 15th. So I was going to get Corey, the oldest, my oldest, the 11-year-old, to go get her a new cell phone. So I get to the Apple store and I get out the car and I'm looking busted because, mind you, I had the baby on January 6th. So I'm just like a week out, you know what I mean? Like my hair's not done, nails not done, no nothing. So I go and I stand on the line and the guy is checking me in outside of Apple. And then he was like, and I'm looking at him like, oh boy.
Do you know who you are?
Right. So then he goes, you watch battle rap? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. And then he was like, so you probably know her. You look like Shooney Da Rapper. And I was like, oh, for real? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then he's like, no. You are her. I can tell from your voice. You're Shooney Da Rapper. And I'm like, yeah, it's me, but don't tell anyone you see me. Pulled up my jacket. Like, I look a mess right now. I just had a baby. She's in the car. I'm looking crazy. And he was like, no, it's fine. Oh my God. So now he's geeked. He's running around outside the store like, oh my God, it's Shooney Da Rapper.
How does that feel, by the way? Like when somebody recognizes you?
It's different. It gives you that same feeling every single time. You never get used to it. Yeah, you never get used to it. No matter what people say to you, it's not something that you get used to, no matter what. Like you always get that, wow. You know what I mean? It kind of takes you back all the time, and it's awesome. It's like, nothing I ever seen before, and I'm excited and I'm anxious for my father to get that moment. My mother had that moment probably about a year ago, like, because prior to my dad coming home, my mom never really liked to go outside much. Like she always kind of felt like, I don't want to see other couples, it kind of makes me sad, and I understood that. But so our thing was going to the casinos. She likes that, she gambles. I like to gamble in the slots, so that was me and her thing.
You win?
I do.
Okay, as long as you win.
Not all the time, but I do have pretty good luck. So we were at the casino, and she's sitting next to me, and a guy, he walks by and he double takes, and he's like, oh, you're Shooney Da Rapper. So he starts going off, and he's like, oh my God, can I get a picture? Can I? And I'm just looked over, and my mother's smiling from ear to ear. And I remembered that this was her first time actually experiencing that. Like, she knows, I'm a battle rapper. She knows what I do. And because she's older, she doesn't understand the magnitude of the internet and really how far it reaches. So when that happened, she just was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. So it's really a dope feeling, and I'm excited because I know it's going to happen sooner or later when my dad is with me. And I want to see how he's going to act. It took my kids a while to get used to too, because when Corey was younger, she's used to it now, but when she was younger, she would always be like, who's that? Why are you talking to my mommy? Why are you taking a picture with my mommy? That was everything she was in. I always would have to explain to her, like, hey, this is what mommy does. Yeah, this is what mommy does. And then when she got in, I think it was in her 3rd grade class, her teachers realized who I was when I came to the school to pick her up, and they started going crazy. And she was like, mommy, all my teachers are like, your mother's Shooney Da Rapper? And I'm like, yeah, I tried to tell you when you were younger, but
Wait, teachers are watching battle rap too?
yeah.
Hey.
You know how teachers are younger now, a lot younger than they used to be. They're not like our teachers that were like really, really old and stuff. So they were like really in tune, and they were like going crazy when I came to pick her up. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you look just like your mother. And how do we think about it? Because obviously kids don't have the same last name as their mother. So it really had nothing to tie us together until I picked her up. And then that's when she kind of realized, oh, all right, my mother is kind of a big deal.
So like when you go out, do you feel like you have to because you saw the thumbnail, right? We talked about it a little bit earlier. Do you feel like you have to be Shooney the rapper, or do you just is your actual name Shooney? And you don't have to tell me this.
No, that my real name is on the screen. It's actually Destiny is my real name. Destineve. That's my first name. But Shooney is my household nickname that I've had since I was really, really young. And so, like I said, it was just something that stuck with me. And, I didn't intend to be Shooney the Rapper. I did just want to be Shooney.
Right.
But that's always been my name. That's my family nickname. My mom gave me that name from playing with people's shoes when I was little. So it was Shooney, Shoeknee. And then I just was like, I don't like the spelling, and I just freaked it to Shoo.
Oh, Shooney. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Shooney. Yes.
Wow.
Yes,
Yo,
yes.
this is honestly incredible because, and listen, I do got to do a little bit more research because I would say, when did I discover? I discovered you a few years back, but I never really did research into looking for people. I mean, I've been doing interviews for a couple years now, but in the beginning, I started out with people that I knew, and the whole research thing is kind of a newer thing to me. Like I would get bios from people, and I would kind of use my experience to talk about it, but
to talk it.
I don't remember seeing anywhere where you talked about all this stuff. Maybe you have.
Sometimes, yeah, but I have sometimes.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So I think we painted a pretty good picture of who you are as a person and, your experiences and what battle rap has done for you. But I'm trying to talk about some of these battles. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's get it.
So I would say this. So the battle where don't quote me on this, but I think the battle where I first saw you rap and kind of gave life to who you were was you and Farrah versus Hitman in the hallway. That honestly, to this day, that's one of my favorite battles of all time.
And that was that started off as a joke.
Really?
Yeah. To be honest, we were all chilling in the hotel room or whatever, and we really Smack and I were drunk. We were drinking 1800. No, Jose Cuervo. I'm lying. And
straight.
Listen. Back in the day,
no judgment. I used to drink E&J. So
I could do some tequila. So we were going shot for shot. You know what I mean? Playing around. So everybody's chilling, playing cards, whatever. And then Hitman was like, yo, I want to battle a gal. I ain't never battle a gal with his little accent or whatever. So Smack's drunk, I'm tipsy, pretty drunk or whatever. So he's like, oh, I could set it up right now. And I'm saying, I could pull my camera me and I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. So he ends up calling somebody over. So then he was like, this is what we gonna do, all right? Hitman, you gonna go in the hallway. You gonna have 10 minutes. Farrah, you gonna shoot me. I'm saying I'm gonna have 10 minutes, but it was really Farrah's battle. Y'all gonna have 10 minutes to get it together or whatever. And so Hitman's like, I bet I'll take that. So he goes in the hallway. And O-Red was there, X Factor, Clean Paper.
Calico was there, right?
Calico. I think Verb wasn't there. Even though
Verb wasn't there.
Somebody else was there. Somebody else was there, but it was a bunch of battle rappers.
Oh,
right?
was it? No, Headaches wasn't. Yeah, Big T. There you go. Big T was there.
So it was a bunch of battle rappers or whatever. And so now me and Farrah were left in the room, and Clean was in the room with us. Right. Okay. So we're writing, and Clean sitting there the whole time, and he's in his phone acting like he's chilling or whatever. So then we get to one particular part, and he's like, "Oh, when you say that, I'm gonna scream, say it again." So he's he on our side, right? So
I remember this.
So, right. So now the camera comes, and mind you, we have on pajamas that pink shirt that I had off the sleeve. That was a nightgown. And what
Okay.
Farrah had on, that was a long shirt. She just put a hoodie over it, whatever. She had on pajama pants. Like, we legit was still in bedclothes.
Right.
So this is how I'm telling you, like, this, when I say it was a joke, it was a joke, right? So we go in the hallway. He sets up the camera, whatever. Now, mind you, now the liquor is setting in for me. So I'm forgetting that I'm supposed to jump in and what my lines were supposed to be, because I was supposed to be going at O Red, and I barely could remember what I was supposed to be saying, but I got through it.
No,
And then and then all of a sudden we realized that Clean is no longer standing behind us. He's now standing with the boys. So instead of saying say it again on our side, he said say it again with Hit Me and started rapping. So that's where we all bust out laughing at the end of the video. If you see us running down the hallway, we were chasing him to go jump him because he had switched sides.
I saw that. I was dying.
Listen, when I tell you that was a good time, like, that was just legit. We were just chilling, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even that weekend, and they have this on video too. I don't know whose camera it was. It wasn't, I don't think it was Twiz, but it was somebody that was down there. But Farrah and I battled Calico and Big T in the Chinese restaurant too.
Wait, is that out?
Off the top, yeah, freestyle off the top. Like, just,
I gotta look that up. I'm gonna write that down.
It's nowhere. Nobody put the footage out. Yeah, no one ever put the footage out, but someone has it. Someone.
Hey, if y'all got it, y'all in the chat or whatever, I need it.
Someone recorded it while we were there. I can't remember exactly who it was, but we were in the Chinese restaurant, and was it it was Calico? I want to say it was Cal and Big T, or was it? Because somebody else was there that said we won. But yeah, so we were in there, and we were in the Chinese restaurant, and that was pretty dope. And we were kind of going off the top, and that's where Farrah always jokes and says, like, I'm good for like a bar and a half. Like, I'm not really good for two, 3 bars in a row if I'm freestyling. Like, I got you for, back then I had you for like a good bar and a half. Then I ain't got nothing else after.
That's how you getting.
I ain't got it. But that was a dope time. That was like, one of the fun times in battle rap, where we was, traveling and just having a good time. Like I said about people like paying for us to go places and treating us like royalty. Like, we didn't have to do anything while we were out there. Like, people were just so nice to us. Like, oh, y'all Shooney and Farrah, like, y'all good. At the restaurants, people was paying our tabs and stuff like that. Drinks galore, just we didn't have to pay to get into the club, nothing. Just everything was,
nice.
Yeah, everything was just complimentary. And, so that was really a dope experience to have.
That's amazing. So if you had to say who won that battle between you two and Hitman, who won?
Me. No.
Well, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen.
I always joke, unless people say Farrah and I won. If they say, oh, y'all got killed, my joke is always, that was Farrah's battle. I had nothing to do with that. Yeah. Like, I throw it on her. If they say we beat him, then I'd be like, yeah, we cooked him. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but he kind of went harder than we thought he was gonna go. And
so did he have those bars stored? Because I remember hearing like an interview or something.
The running joke for us is that he went out in that hallway and they built him like Voltron. Like, everybody gave him a bar, like, say this, say that, say this, say that. That's what we always say to him. We don't have any proof of that, but that's what we say to him, because we was like, nah, you went too hard for 10 minutes, bro. Like, you must have already wanted to battle us or something, because you was going off. Okay.
How did he memorize all that? And so you guys wrote it, or you guys didn't have any bars prior to that, right?
No, we wrote what we could, you know what I'm saying, and then memorized, and then came in the hallway and was on camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a talent. Oh my goodness.
And that's why, that's why Farrah and I always kind of laugh when people be like, oh, you got a ghostwriter, or this person got a ghostwriter. I'm just like, yo, the dudes that y'all look up to seen us. Like, literally said there was nobody there with us. Like, who wrote that when we had 10 minutes to, you know what I'm saying, to come up with something, to remember it, go in the hallway and perform it. So can you imagine if we have the month that we get, or the 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, how many times how much time you get to prepare for a battle? How do you feel that we can't come up with the material that we came up with if we only had 10 minutes and we had some dope lines against Hit Me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people always look for a reason to discredit someone. And I always for one, in majority of my battles, I freestyle or come up with a rebuttal. So I'm like, well, who writes those? If you're saying I got to write, or who comes up with those? Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it just be like, that's why half the time I just be like, and I don't listen to it, because if you're a fan of mine, you know exactly what I do and exactly what I'm capable of, you know?
No, absolutely. And so I want to ask you, like, what was your because that was as far as overall like entertainment, and which I told you is one of the reasons that actually why I resonated to who you are that I see on camera, because I always see you going hard for Farrah.
Yeah,
If
that's
someone like even in the battle, it was Farrah and Clips. I'm sorry,
they tried
but,
to jump her, man.
and you're like, no, you didn't. And as soon as I saw you go out, I was like, yep, because that's who I am right there. I'll stand against me versus the world. That's if I mess with you and you're my people, it's me versus the world. I don't give a damn.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. It could be a million of y'all against us. Well, you just gonna have to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
somebody gonna catch the hands at some point. You know.
Word, no, you didn't. Of course, I'm gonna jump into my girl.
So what was your favorite battle that you had? And it could be either as far as your material or the overall battle or their material. Like what was
my
this is
favorite
my
battle is my first battle versus Norma, just because I didn't know what to expect going in, and then to get accepted like that, people really, you know, rocking with what I had to say and cheering for me, and you know, I looked good, I sounded good, vocal projection, just everything about it was like I couldn't ask for anything better, you know. And just watching myself grow from there, like that's always been my number one, you know, favorite battle. The most fun battle that I had looking back probably was the 2-on-2 with Farrah and myself versus Tori Doe and Don Lady, because of like the preparation, you know what I mean, for us having to get ready and stuff like that. And we spent a lot of time together making our material, goofing off, having a good time and everything. And that's really, you know, how her and I really built our friendship and became, you know, best friends the way we are from that. So that was probably like the most fun. And then, well, 2-on-2s are always fun, because then when Fetty and I did our 2-on-2 versus Jack Boy Maine and First Lady Flames, that was a fun battle too. Like
I missed that one. When did that come out?
That came out, so what, we got married in 2019, so it came out sometime in 2019. We did the battle actually the week after we came from our honeymoon, so we were on the honeymoon writing and rehearsing. Yeah.
What? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I don't think, for those of you, if you're not necessarily someone that has viewed battle rap or you know understand what it takes to write and all that stuff and have an actual life, this is absolutely incredible. Like you have got to give respect and flowers to this woman, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got to work full duty and try to do this interviewing thing. And writing is way harder than this. Big shout out to you, Shooney. That is amazing.
And to take the time out of our honeymoon, but it was dope. That was a fun battle too. Like we had a really good time. It was a 1 round there, and it was really dope. That was a fun battle. So, those would have to be the ones that are like my faves.
So I have 2 battles that, and one's gonna be a little bit different. One is I don't want to give it away, but anyways, so my favorite, like, because I always think that you're one of the most, not only one of the most lyrical battle rappers, but it actually makes me go, There's a lot of people that just rap. They're just rapping, which I love. I appreciate it. But like when people make me think, like Rum Nitty, his punchlines, like they make me think. I'm like,
make you feel like,
how?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I heard you when you were, because okay, so I knew this battle was gonna happen already just from some previous circumstance. I'm sure you know what I'm gonna say, but when you battled O Red, oh my God! Listen, that was God level writing on both sides, but like, oh my God!
Yeah, I really, so my thing is I always try to elevate, and my goal for every battle is to have somebody say, yo, you really stepped it up. Like this is your best material yet. And that's what I want them to say every time I battle. Like, this is the best I've seen you, because that means that I've elevated from what you've seen previously, and getting him, I knew that was going to be a test to my pen. And I knew I had to come on my A game. I knew I couldn't play with him. You know what I'm saying?
Dude is nasty.
And to do something that a lot of men can't even do, I definitely pat myself on the back. And I had like a really good year, and had a really good run up until, going into that. And after that, that was when I was like really holding down female battle rap and stuff. So it was dope to really, clash with him, one of the greats. And, he's been a friend. Like, I've known him for years. We've traveled and been certain places and stuff like that. So that was pretty dope, to run into him again, especially after running into him in the hallway and me getting at him about his blue shoes when I battled Hitman. You know what I'm saying?
I was weak when you said that, and the way you paused and performed it.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty dope for years later, for that to kind of transcend into actual battle with him. That was pretty dope. Did I lose you? You're frozen. You still there? Oh, we got frozen a little bit.
Yeah, I'm here. Sometimes the internet be on. Yeah, the internet be on his other stuff sometimes, but you sound like a very humble person, and I could tell that you're trying to underplay a little bit so you don't seem cocky, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it, y'all. The writing in that, and like I said, much props to O-Red too, but the writing in there was so and his round that he had was so. I was like, I don't know how anybody can match this. I was like, it was so ridiculous. And when you came out, like, all right, yeah, kind of like how Hitman did you. Watch this.
Right.
I was like, how is she doing this? This was so great.
Yeah, that I love that. That's a really good battle for me as well. Like I said, that was my moment to really show people, like, nah, stop playing with me.
Yeah, this pen different.
Yeah, stop playing with me.
And this is to give love to, because I gotta do some more research, but I haven't seen too many interviews. And so if your husband's been on like a lot more interviews, I apologize. Mm-hmm. But I want to give him some love too by saying his battle versus Jack Boy to this day. Right? Oh my! Like, listen, people. If you have not seen this, you're crazy, first of all. But go watch Shooney versus O-Red and go watch Fetty versus Jack Boy.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. You know what I watched back last night on my caffeine? I did a replay of him versus Bangs. Oh my God. That was like that. Yeah, I never get tired of that. That was like some crazy writing right there, like
impossible. Like it was, you always hear people go this is not a shot to Geechee, but when people always say like every bar, when I say there was a haymaker, almost every line in that Fetty versus Jack Boy, like how some of the biggest like hitting lines came out of that battle. Ridiculous.
That's a fact. Shout out to him. So if y'all ain't see it, go watch it.
Yeah, y'all do need to watch it.
But,
so, hey, I honestly, this feels so natural to me, even though this is my first time meeting you, first time seeing you, y'all. So I don't think it's a stage or anything like that, but this is absolutely amazing, and it feels so natural for us to just have these type of conversations. And like, I thought I was gonna have to like pry information, because a lot of people they either get nervous when they get on, or like they don't want to say the wrong thing or something. But like, you are a great interviewee, like great.
I think it comes from my past experience of doing interviews myself, but also just, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to have to pull teeth to talk to somebody, you just got to be yourself. That's pretty much all it is, that's pretty much all it is. My baby is going crazy in the background. I'm sure she's crying.
Well, hey, I don't want to keep it too long. I know you do have a baby, because I kind of like seen it through battle rap news, but like what I've seen comments on some of these posts that we've been doing for the for promotion. People want to know what's next. When you coming back? When's your next battle?
Coming back in April, but those things are still getting worked out. So not 100% sure what the date is going to be, who the opponent is going to be, but then I have some other situations that people are going to like, which will end up being in California. So I will be on the West Coast sometime very soon. You know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely keep everybody posted on when that happens. But in the meantime, continue to follow my social medias. Shooney Da Rapper on Instagram, my real name on Facebook. If you know it, you know it. Shooney Da Rapper on Twitter. And I have my show on Caffeine. If you don't have that platform, you could just download it and follow me on there. And I'm on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's really like an in-depth conversation that I have with the crowd, basically talking about things that kind of I seen throughout the week, current events, and just giving them, a piece of myself. Sometimes we watch battles and stuff like that, but it's a really dope show. I got some products that are out there right now. If you go on my Instagram, you can go on my candle site, Double Lit Candles, with me and my best friend. So you can get some good scented things from there. And then you can go on the YouTube. Fetty and I have a YouTube page, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so we have a couple things up there, family wise, and just trying to get out there and do everything that is meant for us this year. It feels like a divine power has entered my presence this year, and I'm trying to use that and just get out there.
God, that is so beautiful. So as one of the things we talked about with the veteran community as well as like the battle rap community, like what would you and feel free to, if you're comfortable saying it and however you want to say it, but what would you like to say to some of the veteran viewers, the military veteran viewers that are, now they get to see who you are if they haven't known who you were before?
Well, one, thank you for your service and being so courageous at all times. And, thank you for viewing me. If you haven't been in tune, please, support, get in tune. It's a great pastime. It's very fun. It's exciting all the time, and if you do, thank you for the support and, rocking with me. I appreciate it. And I thank you for having me on. You know what I mean? You're a friend of mine now, you know what I'm saying? We can do this anytime. I got you whenever you need, you know what I mean? If you need something from me, you can holler at me. I appreciate it. Like I said, I love that you're the liaison and the person that's bridging that gap for me. For the veterans. So I definitely appreciate that, and continue doing your thing.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know you got kids, you're on the other coast.
Yeah.
But if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up and share it out. Please, veteran_influencers on Instagram, veteran_influencers on YouTube. Same thing with Facebook as well. And
hit my boys' notification bells. Give them likes, some thumbs up. Share it, share it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so I'm going to edit the clips like I showed you the ones before, and I'm going to continue to tag you in them. I wish you the best. You are an amazing person, and I'm glad I got an opportunity to learn a little bit more about you than what I can do on YouTube.
Yes. You too, Chris. Thank you so much. Keep in touch.
Absolutely. Salute to you.
All right. Blessings.
All right. Bye.